Hi there! Are you thinking about buying a home in New York? Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an experienced real estate investor, the city's competitive and fast-paced real estate market can be a challenging experience. But don't worry, I got you covered with this comprehensive guide on buying a house in New York. Even before you start looking at properties, it is a good idea to obtain a pre-approval letter from a mortgage lender. And actually, this is not only a good idea, but also it's must-do before even touring properties. Because since COVID-19, most sellers only want to show their homes to qualified buyers who have pre-approval letter or a proof of fund if you buy for cash. Getting the letter will give you a clear idea of your budget and help streamline the buying process. To get pre-approved, you will need to provide your lender with income, assets, and debts information. Having worked as a real estate agent in New York for 10 years, I've noticed that many first-time home buyers are often surprised by closing costs. And this is very important. These costs, which can be anywhere from 1 to 6% of the home's price, need to be paid at the closing. Depending on how you're financing the purchase and the home's price, you might need to pay these costs out of your pocket or add them to your mortgage. If you want to know more about closing costs, you might want to watch my video, Closing Cost Breakdown New York. Next step, now you have a clear idea what's your budget for the home, create a checklist of your must-haves and deal breakers. Consider your ideal location, the size of the property, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and any other specific features or amenities you're looking for. Once you have your checklist, let's find a reputable and experienced real estate agent who specializes in the neighborhood you're interested in. And please check their reviews and read it carefully what they did for their client. A good agent can provide valuable insights and guidance on the local real estate market, help you find properties that match your criteria, and negotiate on your behalf to get you the best possible deal. Attend open houses and schedule private showings with your agent to get a better feel for the properties you're interested in. Take notes, ask questions, and don't be afraid to request a second or a third viewing if you're still unsure. And now the most exciting part. You found the perfect place, it checks all the boxes and feels like it was made just for you. And seller just accepted your offer. Don't waste a single moment. Schedule that inspection right away. Let's talk about something super important in the crazy world of New York real estate: timing. Now, I know the market here can feel like the wild, wild west sometimes. Picture this. You hesitate for a bit, maybe thinking you will schedule the inspection later. But guess what? Another buyer jumps in, snatches the opportunity, and seals the deal. That's not happening on my watch, by the way. When we schedule that inspection ASAP, it's like showing the seller you mean business. It's like saying, hey, we are serious about this, and we are not letting this slip away. Can I skip the inspection and sign right away? Yes, it can be done. Actually, many buyers waive the inspection contingency and seal the deal during COVID time. But I don't recommend that, especially if you're buying a 100-year-old home in New York, which is pretty common. Home inspections usually take 1 to 4 hours depending on the size and issues the home has. They help identify any potential issues with the property that may not be apparent during the initial tour. The inspection report will provide a detailed overview of the condition of the home and any issues that need to be addressed. However, not all issues found during an inspection need to be addressed by the seller. Cosmetic issues such as peeling paint or minor wear and tear are typically not negotiable. However, issues related to the safety or function of the home, such as a leaking roof, faulty electrical wiring, or termite issue, are negotiable. After the inspection, your agent will work with the seller or seller's agent to come to an agreement on how to address any issues found during the inspection. This can include the seller making repairs, lowering the purchase price to reflect the cost of repairs, or giving the buyer credits and closing to cover the cost of repairs. Quick heads up, the negotiations can be a bit of back and forth dance, so don't get too frustrated if it takes some time to reach an agreement. And trust me, it's all in the hands of the agent at this point. What about the real estate attorneys? They don't want to get in on the negotiation action at this point. But ultimately, the goal is to ensure that any necessary repairs are addressed before the sale is finalized, so you can move into your new home with peace of mind. Next step is to sign a contract. Typically, the seller's attorney will send the contract to buyer's attorney for review. During this stage, both parties may go back and forth to negotiate the terms of the contract until a mutually agreeable agreement is reached. This process can involve reviewing details such as the purchase price, closing date, contingencies, and any other important provisions that need to be included in the contract. When you sign the contract, you'll also be submitting the down payment, typically around 10% of the purchase price. However, if you arrange for a smaller down payment with your mortgage, you can put down whatever amount you feel comfortable with. I've encountered so many first-time home buyers who are not aware of this. And you know what? When my husband and I bought the first house in Long Island, New York, we were totally clueless about the down payment also. We had no idea that we were supposed to pay it when we signed the contract. We were freaking out and had to borrow some money from our parents. When purchasing a home, it's important to make sure the property's ownership history is clean and without any legal problems. This is where a title search comes in. It's like digging into the property's past to see if there are any issues like debts, loans, or legal conflicts attached to it. An attorney usually helps with this to make sure everything is legally sound and you won't face unexpected problems when transferring the property's ownership to you. We're almost there. 2 more things: appraisal, final walkthrough. So what exactly is an appraisal? It's a professional estimate of the home's value, and it's typically required by the lender before they approve your loan. This helps to ensure that the home is worth the amount you're borrowing. The appraiser will inspect the property, assess its condition, and compare it to similar homes in the area to determine its value. If the appraisal comes in below the agreed upon price, then you may need to renegotiate the purchase price or come up with more cash to cover the difference. If you pay cash for the home, this process may not be necessary. Let's talk about final walkthrough. It's scheduled for 1 to 2 days before the closing date, or even on the same day if the closing is scheduled for the afternoon. You'll want to check that any repairs requested after the home inspection have been completed, that the home is clean and in the same condition it was when you agreed to buy it. And then any personal property that was supposed to be included in the sale is still there. If you find any issues, you will want to address them with the seller before closing. So there you have it, my friends. Keep these things in mind as you navigate the home buying process, and you will be well on your way to securing your dream home.